Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. I was broadcasting talking about St. Louis and the fact that cities all over the country spend an exorbitant amount of money over nonsense. I would love to get with black leadership in these cities and say to them, I tell you what, if you guys stop with all this nonsense of no justice, no peace, we'll give you half the money to go put into education programs or whatever. Businesses, black businesses, but you must use it for that. No feathering of your nest if you just shut the hell up. Because I don't get it. The city of St. Louis had, I saw National Guard people, the police stations that was near all the nonsense, which is on Olive in St. Louis. You couldn't get in it. It was barricaded. I'm not kidding. It was barricaded. Barricaded courthouse, all the official buildings. I saw private security people at buildings that would normally not be out. So I got pulled right up to a building, and the reason why, it was close to the police station. So they were like, you need to be right there because we don't want anybody messing with our stuff because they're coming to mess with the cops. So you had that. When I did the hit at the mayor's office, the hit means TV appearance, not trying to kill the mayor. But when I did the hit in front of her house, Lida, whatever her name is, there was more cop presence in her neighborhood than there normally is in multiple city blocks because her house had been attacked. And she's anti-cop. And what's funny to me, you watch these cities in their death spirals, practically all of them across the board, and the Democrats still do things the same way. Haven't learned a thing. But I want to go back to this guy, Anthony Lamar Smith. Because, and I talked about this on TV, so this is a rehash if you saw the thing, but it's a deeper dive. And here's what bugs me. What bugs me is in every case, whether you're talking about Eric Garner, whether you're talking about Anthony Lamar Smith, whether you're talking about Philando Castile, you name it, Michael Brown, they all died for one very simple reason. They resisted arrest. It's that simple. That is the only lesson here. If Anthony Lamar Smith, when the cops roll up and he just says, hey, you got me, puts his hands up, he's alive. Now, I asked a young black dude this. By the way, this is a funny story. So I go to do this shot over at the mayor's house. This was on Saturday morning. And this black kid is fixing a bike. And I'm about to go on TV and I'm like, hey, what's up, man? He's like, dude, because he's talking to another film guy. And the guy goes, you're not going to believe this, Kevin. He goes, this guy recovered his bike. It was stolen from him during the march, during the protest. I go, get that, tell me the story. So I got him on film. He says, yeah, man. He goes, so I'm protesting downtown. I said, so, okay, so you're protesting on behalf of, against Stockley and on behalf of Anthony Lamar Smith. He says, well, I can't really say I'm protesting for Anthony Lamar Smith, but he goes, I had a friend who was killed by a cop. And he goes, and so I'm protesting on behalf of him, et cetera. Now, I didn't get to ask him, what did your friend do? Because what I can tell you without knowing is his friend was a crook. His friend was doing stuff that made the police look at him. Cops do not want to just go out shooting people. I mean, if they do, it's so rare, it's ridiculous. And those cops, look, I'm not going to tell you that they don't exist, but they're so rare. They're like a albino elephant. All right. So he's telling the story, and I go, so let me just get this straight so the audience understands. You're protesting. The cake hits the fan, pepper spray gets sprayed at people. You get hit in the eye with pepper spray. He says, yeah, by the time I looked up, my bike is gone. So somebody in that very peaceful crowd took it upon themselves that the minute he got pepper sprayed and dropped his bike and was covering his face with his fingers trying to get this pepper spray out of his eyes, I don't know what he did to get pepper spray. Somebody stole his bike. Then the person rode his bike to the mayor's house and is probably one of the vandals of the mayor's house. You get it? So he's smiling, and I ask him, I go, why, give me more. Tell me why you're he says, man, the evidence of this, and he talked about the rifle coming out of the Anthony Lamar Smith's, the cop's car. The cop had his own personal rifle. I said, okay, fine. He didn't use it. What's that got to do with anything? I said, my gut feel was this cop was saying, I ain't going to be outgunned. I'd rather violate policy than to be outgunned by these thugs that I have to go deal with. But then he says, well, he's talking about, we're going to go kill this. And he actually used the N-word. I said, he didn't say that. He said we're going to go kill this MF. He goes, you're right. I just said the N-word. I said, yeah. And I said, now, I can tell you this. I had some stuff thrown on me. Me and a group of people were walking when we were at college, and some other college kids threw like soda on us as we were going out. And I'm telling you, the first words out of our mouths was, we need to go kill these MFs. Now, we weren't going to kill them, but had we caught them, we'd have beat the crap out of them. And so you can understand that's an excited utterance, not to mention he knows he's on film. He knows he's being taped. So, and then I said, but here's the thing that really gets me. And I asked him this question. I said, what could Anthony Lamar Smith have done? I said, if he surrenders, is he alive? And the guy goes, yeah. And I said, that's all I need, man. Now, the bigger issue to me, and I keep coming back to this, is I am so sick of the white leftists getting black people in a froth over criminals. I jokingly said, if Denzel Washington is shot by a police officer, I'm protesting. All right? But if Anthony Lamar Smith, the heroin dealer, who's a repeat offender and is just, probably the type of guy that if you live in a neighborhood, being honest, you say, man, I'm so glad somebody finally killed that sucker. He's been menacing this neighborhood for years. Trust me, folks, when I tell you, there are black people living in the hood that want that to happen. They want the bad guy gone. They don't have the guts to do it themselves. They don't have the guts to say it because they don't want to deal with the ramifications. But they are happy when the cops do their dirty work for them. So don't believe this nonsense that, snitches get stitches and we hate the cops. There are people out there who are so happy. Now, they'll pretend not to be because it's, look, it's bizarro world in the black community. We love Snoop Dogg. We hate Clarence Thomas. I mean, that should tell you right there. It's bizarro world. But there are people in that world who are trapped in it and who toe the line, who don't really want to do it. They do not want to make a Rosa Parks or a Martin Luther King out of Michael Brown or Trayvon Martin or Philando Castile or Eric Garner or Anthony Lamar Smith. When we start looking at people, the dope dealers of the world, and who knows what else. Trust me when I tell you, folks, if you know the history of Anthony Lamar Smith, I don't know it, but I do know it, right? I don't know it, but I do know it. I promise you, there's nothing choir boy here. There's nothing they're going to tell you about Anthony Lamar Smith where you go, wow, snuffed out of life too soon. Am I saying I want this man dead? Absolutely not. I wish Anthony Lamar Smith had had the guts to say to the police, you know what? You got me, man. We call it in the black community, doing dirty. I've been doing dirty. You got me. I've been slinging heroin. You caught me in a deal. Let's just do what we got to do. But he didn't do that. No, he thought he could do something different. And the likelihood is, part of his rationale is, I'll be famous. I'm not saying he wanted to die, but you don't know what the outcome is going to be in these situations anymore, man. This dude could get street cred. He got rappers putting him in videos. Y'all, there are people out there listening to me now going, Kevin, are you stretching things a bit? I'm stretching nothing, people. I'm giving you gospel here. This dude could blow up, and that's a good thing. And I'm not talking ISIS and Muslim stuff. He could blow up from getting away from the cops or getting shot and living to survive and tell his story. In this case, his family is the one who benefited. They got the money. And what's funny when you look at all of the different people that have commented about this, Lacey Clay and others. Lacey Clay's talking about more black people. Here we are again dealing with police killing black folks. Lacey Clay doesn't have the guts to say to his constituents what Anthony Lamar Smith was doing was wrong. Look, I understand why a guy deals drugs in the hood. I get it. Anthony Lamar Smith maybe can't get a job because he's an offender, right? He's got a record, caught a case or two. Understood. And he's desperate. But it doesn't mean he has to be desperate when he's caught. See, that's liberalism. Anthony Lamar Smith should have thought of his family. Should have thought, you know what? Been there, done that. You know, it's just one of those mountains I got to climb. I get it. And we as a society should be helping solve the problems of the Anthony Lamar Smiths. The guys who believe the only way out is dealing drugs and things like that.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.